2, 1. Welcome to the 2.5 Citizens podcast. I'm Zen.
And I'm Pablo.
I want to save like a lot of the sports talk that we had for when we get Jared back in here.
Hey, man, don't spoil nothing.
Sports in general, the fact that sports exist.
No.
But
that we're going to have Jared back in here.
But I want to get into a few things that have been kind of interesting.
Yo, breaking news. Saint broke his arm. This was posted by Kanye 2 hours ago.
Breaking. All right, so have we sent each other? We definitely sent each other like
a lot of stuff.
Let's see.
This is how topics happen.
Yeah, I haven't read the last few things you
Okay,
sent.
can we talk about mids being okay? Mids are officially okay. MJ wore 'em, bro.
Okay, but if that's the case, are super huge jeans and giant suits okay? Because back then it was a wave, but now when Michael Jordan wears things, it's not cool.
I think the rule is still if Michael Jordan didn't play in them is not.
Yeah. So, and I don't, especially because the thing about it is you could try to change the thing, but there's too much attached to it.
But have you heard about like Marcus Jordan? Like he's like, yeah, everyone counts my dad, but like little do they know that like that outfit is like worth all this money. And then it kind of pissed me off because I was like, Michael, if it's worth that much money,
get it tailored.
Yeah.
like if you know what I mean? My thing about it is like I get the whole thing. I get the flex. But at this point,
he's comfortable.
No, at this point, you cannot change the thing around the mids because it's ingrained in culture as not that good. Like if you say something was not that good, you say it's mid. That's the problem. That's the problem. Is at this point it's solidified to mids have gone past not good. They've culturally not good. If you're like, yo, how was that show? It was mid. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's more to it. It's ingrained in the culture.
So what would you rather wear? And I've used to wear these shoes because these were the broke man's dunks back in the day. Would you rather wear Nike 6.0 or mids?
Mids.
Damn, you really gonna put me like that?
I've worn 6.0s.
No, I know.
I've worn 6.0s, but I would 100% wear a mid before a 6.0 now.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, what did you think 6.0s were when you got them? Because I thought they were a mini SB.
That's why I got them. I was like, oh, I can't afford SBs. So
then I found out they're a BMX shoe.
Yeah, I knew they were a BMX shoe, but I was like, I mean, how different can it be? Like, it's still like quote unquote like can be a skate shoe. So, wore it.
Yo, so I've been seeing this. Drake was been hanging out with the Wolf of Wall Street, that Jordan Belfort character.
Yeah.
And Logan Paul had him on the podcast a while ago, and he was recently on a podcast with the Nelk Boys, and he's been talking a lot about, which I kind of agree with. I don't know too much about his case, but I've seen the movie, and he says he more so actually got arrested for bringing money in from Germany or some shit like that. But what he's basically saying is it's kind of funny that what he went to jail for is what everybody's doing with crypto right now and NFTs.
Yeah, he went to jail for pump and dumps, and
everyone's pumping and dumping.
The thing is that he did it for... So, like, again, the stock world is heavily regulated by the SEC. And the whole thing with crypto is that it's not regulated. And that's why they can pump and dump all day long, because there's no one to say, hey, that's illegal.
So, with that being said, he's saying that everyone's afraid of the moment that the
SEC is going to step in and be like, yo, this is illegal.
And he says that that's probably the best thing, that we need regulations so that people trust it. It becomes solidified. And he says once that happens, it'll actually make things go up because then people can trust it.
I agree with that to a certain extent, yeah.
And it's just kind of crazy where like we see this. The more and more that I see him.
People talk shit about regulations, but don't realize how much they need it.
Yeah. I mean, it's because everyone wants to be free and think that
but that's bullshit. Okay, so like, because I've talked to way too many people that think that way. Where I'm like, you eat food, don't you? You go to Walmart, you go to Kroger.
You go to H-E-B, dog. We're in Texas. You go to H-E-B.
Oh my God. Okay, fine. You go to H-E-B. You buy fruit. That fruit that you just bought wouldn't get there without government regulation. So shut the hell up.
Nah, but what about if you go and you grow your own fruit?
Okay, then go to a fucking farmer's market.
No, but I'm talking about you grow your own fruit. So you're out here putting out your own NFTs. You're minting your own stuff. And you're out here organically.
But like I'm saying, that's not the point that I'm trying to make. The point that I'm trying to make is that you have a driver's license. Like, why does everyone act like, oh, I saw this post of somebody.
Rick Ross just got his driver's license.
Yo, but man, I love Rick Ross.
I like Rick Ross, but I cannot respect Rick Ross after that line that was been out in the ether.
What line?
The "she ain't even know it" line.
No, I don't know what he said.
I put Molly up in her drink. She ain't even know it. I took her home and I enjoyed it. She ain't even know it.
Oh, Rose, what are you doing?
Yeah, dog.
Oh, okay.
There's just something about that where I'm like, bruh.
Rose, no.
Someone in your corner gotta tell you that's wild.
Rose, please.
What did you think about, if we're on the topic of him real quick, for his 16th birthday, he gave his son a Wingstop? Like for him to run and manage a Wingstop?
No, that's smart. That's cool. He's teaching him how to like be an entrepreneur, how to, run a franchise.
I respect it. But imagine like a 16-year-old comes in and starts telling you how to fry the wings.
What? A 16-year-old's going to come in and tell the other 16-year-old how to fry the wings? It's going to be like Lord of the Flies up in that bitch. But I mean, it's going to teach him something, hopefully.
Hopefully. I think that's cool. So in that same breath, Moneybag Yo's girl just gave him, and I'm going to probably be false on the amount, somewhere between 38 and 40 something acres of land. Okay. That's what she got him for his birthday. And it's interesting because it's kind of like, all right, we're seeing this thing like where most times would be like, we got him this car.
Yeah.
A depreciating asset. Mm-hmm. We got him this bust down Rollie. Well, a bust down Rollie.
It's actually worth less than a regular Rolex.
So you're spending money for them to flex, but you're not really.
You took a piss on the Mona Lisa.
So now you're seeing these people being like, I got him a whole ass Wingstop. Cool, now he gets to make money. Yeah. I got him all this land. Now we get to make money off this land. Now we get to invest in things where it's maybe changing the way people want to flex on people in a good way.
I like it because it's putting
the power back into the people and not just
and just like the information that's out there and changing the mentalities, because I think American culture is very driven, but we
think that American dream is materialism.
Yeah, and like I think about it too, like in the UK they have like the Queen and the whole royal family.
Yeah,
they like over. We don't have that, so like, but we have celebrities, and the thing that drives commercialism is what's Drake doing, what's Justin Bieber doing, what's so and so doing. Yeah, what's Beyonce buying? Oh, she collabed with who? Oh, blah 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 blah.
She drinks Corona.
I drink Corona. Like Bad Bunny told me to buy Corona. Like
I wear Adidas only because Bad Bunny had an Adidas collab.
Yeah, so like it's stuff like that where I think if the celebrities are being like yo, be like financially responsible, like do this and this and that, then people will maybe hopefully start doing it.
Yeah, because people are gonna fake flex like it. I think it's also better for you can't fake flex with things, right? So
yeah, because you can fake flex with a lot of things.
Lil Baby got caught up with that situation where he bought that Patek Philippe watch. Mm-hmm. And then he posted it on the gram.
And he got outed that it was fake.
Got outed that it was fake, and then he had to talk to the jeweler. He spent $400,000 on this watch.
Oh, no.
And so then, they gave him his money back, and then they gave him 4 custom rings. And, they took care of their issue or whatever. But it's the fact that, like, okay, you see that situation happen. So meaning you see, let's just say it never happened like that. You see Lil Baby with the Patek Philippe. So then you go out and buy the fake Patek Philippe. Mm-hmm. There's no way you're buying fake 30-something acres of land.
Yeah.
There's no way you're going to have a fake Wingstop franchise.
There's no way you can have a fake stock.
Yeah. So then you're realizing, oh, wait, so the game is financial literacy and financial stability.
Yeah. That's the real flex. That's when real flexing comes in.
And that's when you're like, oh, and I think like the more that you start seeing rappers not want to wear chains as much, like 21 Savage and stuff like that. Because like the way that I really think about it, because I've, listened to a few songs and just kind of understanding like all the flexing, right? So like you see someone come up with the chain. Mm-hmm. More than likely, that chain was charged to the label for promo. So they put the name of the album on the chain. So they get the label to pay X amount of money, which they already have in their budget for promo and marketing. You say that you're going to use that for the chain because you're going to post the chain on Instagram, and then that's the way you announce the album. And then people are like, damn, look at that chain. Look, he's really flexing. I need to check the album out. And so you got the chain but wrote it off to marketing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's kind of why I love Hassan Minaj, because he's like a real person. Like he'll be like, yeah, like when I was doing Patriot Act, like I got Netflix to buy me sneakers.
Yeah, Tom Segura was talking about like he had spent X amount of money on this jacket that Netflix paid for, and then he didn't even end up wearing that jacket during the special.
Yeah, bro. Or like he was talking about like when he did the Essentials thing.
Yeah,
he was talking about like this pomade he uses, and he's like, yeah, but I only get these from like
the makeup
department. So he's like, I'm about to run out. I got to take one from the makeup department.
He's like, I got to pull up to another makeup department.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that where we think they're flexing, but they're really not. This is stuff they got for free.
Yeah, which is when you think about it, most times, actually almost every time that anybody is telling you about something, it's because they got paid to tell you about it. And
think about the fact that like, if we go to the Galleria right now, and you see all the people wait because of COVID, you'll see all the people waiting outside of the Gucci store, blah blah blah, Louis Vuitton store. Most of the time, the workers that are in there are. I bet you they're trained to kind of treat them like shit, so then they have to feel like they have to flex in front of the person, so they buy something that they didn't even go in with the intention of buying. Because
I know I'm like, y'all can't afford this shit. Why y'all acting like, why y'all treating me like that?
But that's the game.
That's the game, yeah.
That's the game. So the game is to be like, oh, you're just buying a wallet, so then you'd be like, oh shit, no, let me get this shirt too.
For me, I go in with the complete opposite. I already feel like I'm not supposed to be there every time I'm in there. So, like, anytime I'm in there, I just, like, act more just myself. I'm not going to try to, like, act any different anymore. And then that usually, for some reason, makes them think that, like, this person's a little too confident right now.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Why are they that comfortable in here? He wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And then after, like... Last time I went in there, which I only go in there when I'm having to buy something for somebody.
Yeah.
to be
when
honest,
it's a family errand?
Yeah, where it's like, hey, could you pull up to the Louis Vuitton store for me and take care of this? Like, got you. Yeah. I get to flex for a second. So then I go in there, and then by the end, they're like, if you need anything, here's my card. I run this department. We do this store, this store, this store. I'm like, all right, cool. Not only that, I also started putting their purchases under my phone number.
Oh,
so
it looks like
it's like my account.
Yeah,
it's like my account, but it's like their money. So then they look at my thing and they'll be like, "Oh, damn, you bought this and this and that." I'll be like, "Yeah, what's up?"
Yeah,
I'll get emails about new drops, and I'll be like, "Oh shit, this finna drop."
Yeah,
that's nice because I'll get like the early passcodes. Like if I'm gonna go in there and get something real quick, and I'll be like, "Oh."
You know what's funny? Talking about like passing down wealth and stuff like that. I was talking to my dad, like weeks ago, and he was telling me, he was like, when you were about to go to college, and I tried to get you to come back to Houston,
to Mexico.
To come back to Mexico. I just want you to know that the reason I wanted you to come back was because I could have set you up. Like you could have had all this. And I was now looking at it seeing it from that perspective, I'm like, oh yeah, like my life would be easier. But I kind of like that I didn't take that route. But it's funny how like when you reach a certain level of wealth, you realize, oh, I get to pass this down.
Yeah, that becomes the thing. Like, because I started realizing like we always talk about like when's enough is enough. Like when why do people go so far? That becomes the next thing. It's like I'm set up. But are my kids set up and are their kids set up?
Yeah.
Like you get to a point where like I have to go as far as I can to make sure everyone good.
Yeah.
Like from now on.
Right.
And that's where it becomes a thing. Let's talk about this this. So there's been that missing girl, Gabby Petito.
R.I.P.
She was like a YouTuber.
Something like that, yeah. Or like influencer.
Something. What had happened?
To be an influencer.
I mean, I think she might have been a little poppin'.
I think so.
They, her and her fiance Brian Laundrie were cross country road tripping in like a converted Sprinter van.
Yep.
Where like I guess they could sleep out of the van but drive it, and they were going and viewing all these parks, and then she was FaceTiming her parents all the time. They were visiting different parks.
Yep.
Then there's an altercation, like a physical domestic abuse type altercation.
Vire and I watched the cam footage on that. Not all of it.
I was going to say that's like an hour plus.
It was an hour video, but no, so I had a work meeting, so she watched most of it. I caught the first half. But basically what had happened was that because they were in these national parks and they were like arguing in the morning, someone like called the police and was like, "Hey, can you kind of like check these people out? They're like arguing. It's a man and a female." So whenever a man and a female argue like that, I think people is like red light. You know?
They're like, "Oh, this might turn abusive."
Yeah. So then I guess they were like kind of following them and they were like speeding. So then that's kind of like a reason to pull them over, and the cop pulls them over, and as soon as they're like going in, they like pop a curve or something. And the cop gets out of the car, goes over, and the girl's like bawling. And then he's like, "Ma'am, are you okay? Like, what's going on?" And then like she gets out the car, she's like hyperventilating. She's like, "Well," he's like, "Step out of the car. Let me put you in like my car." Like he's like, "You're not in trouble. I just want to separate y'all and like figure out what's going on."
Yeah.
So from watching that video, the crazy part is that if you just watching that, I don't know this guy. I don't want to make any like assumptions, but I'm like, he kind of made it seem like she was crazy, and if he's the one that hurt her, that's some like sociopathic type crazy stuff, bro.
So the way that I didn't watch the whole thing, I heard some things. I caught a lot of clips of a lot of stuff, and by what I gathered, it was like by the end of the thing, it all made it seem like she was the aggressor, almost to the point where like she might need to like go to jail or something.
Well, so they were saying that because they were the way the state of Wyoming treats it, it doesn't matter if it's who's aggressing who. If they can't be separated, then one of them has to spend the night in jail. So that was like the whole thing with them, that it was like, all right, like y'all are sharing this van. Y'all have no family out here. You guys don't know anybody out here. If one of y'all doesn't find another place to stay, she's gonna have to go to jail because she's a quote unquote aggressor here.
And Brian was even saying, "Take me to jail."
Yeah,
he was like, "Just take me."
Yeah.
So what I end up hearing happens is that they find something to get him a hotel. He gets a hotel. She takes the van.
No, I think she stays with like a shelter for like battered people.
Well, no, the shelter for battered people.
Because I read something about that.
We're in charge of getting him the hotel.
Gotcha.
So he's supposed to get the hotel because of the company or whatever, and then she got the van.
Yeah.
And so that's the last kind of thing. Then
he ends up in Florida with the van.
Yeah.
No girl.
So there's a few things. He comes all the way back to Florida. He comes back to Florida without her and gets a lawyer immediately.
Which is so suspect, bro. Because, like, you and I are both married.
Yeah.
We both love our wives. Chance the Rapper album. We both love our wives.
Justin Bieber album.
Yeah.
Both love our wives, yeah.
So I'm thinking, if something were to happen, even before she was my wife, if we were in a park where we didn't have any family, we didn't have any friends out there, something happens to her, like a legitimate accident, I'm calling the police. I'm calling 911, ambulance. Yo, my fiance, my girlfriend, my wife is in trouble. Like, we were hiking. She slid down this thing. Well, this is what happened. I'm not going to drive back to Houston, lawyer up, and be like, I'm not talking to the cops.
What if... And I'm just being wild.
Yeah.
Because this was the first thing where I was like... Now, my conspiratorial mind went like a few ways in the beginning, which the first thing was there was that other thing that happened right around the same time in the same area with the 2 murders.
Those girls got murdered.
So my thought was at first, it's some Hills Have Eyes type shit. Mm-hmm. They see some shit going on, and then he gets freaked out and takes the fuck off, right? Mm-hmm. And then realizes, oh, fuck, I left her. I'm going to seem so shitty. I can't even, like, talk about this because maybe there was some things I should have done. Let me hurry the fuck up, get a lawyer. Mm-hmm. And then see what they fucking do. See if they can find her. I'm just going to stand behind. I don't know where she ended up, but we'll see what happens, and we'll see, like...
Yeah.
Then my other thought is they're in an argument when I start finding out about all this other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. They're in an argument. Maybe the argument doesn't end right there.
I mean, they met up again.
Yeah, so they meet up again, and then something happens to where, like, they're fighting again, and she goes, you know what? I'm not even going to deal with this. I'm fucking leaving, and then takes off somewhere, and then he can't find her. He can't get a hold of her, and so he doesn't know what to do, and so he just goes, I'm going to go back, and if anything happens, I'm going to get a lawyer so they don't start thinking, like, whatever.
How do you not tell the authorities right then and there?
What, that she took off and said she was going to go. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if he's saying, I'm going to come back. I'm going to get a lawyer so that I'm not automatically, like, suspected as, like, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of prepared for whatever might happen. It's a weird one. I don't know.
I honestly don't know that it's that wild to the sense of, like... But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe
the second one seems a little more like possible. Like she storms off, said like "fuck you," I don't want to be in the car with you.
That seems a little bit more plausible.
Like I don't want to go. I'm finding my own way home.
Yeah.
And then she leaves, and though in his mind she found her own way home. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then he comes back and she's not home, and when she's not, he goes and gets a lawyer. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But all of that could have been okay until he went missing.
Yeah.
Now that he's hiding, allegedly, whatever. Now it's like, all right, dude, what's your plan now?
Yeah.
It all seemed a little more calculated. What's the plan now? Her body's been found. It's been identified to be her 100%, and it's looked at to be a possible homicide, but they haven't gotten the information back to...
Have you seen the Netflix documentary about the guy that killed his wife and his kid and his daughters?
No, I don't watch that shit.
You don't watch true crime?
Nah.
Why don't I watch it?
Do you listen to those true crime podcasts?
Yeah, sometimes. It's hard.
Like, what's your favorite? Because Alicia got into them.
I'm not going to shout them out. They're not paying us.
She's been listening to Crime Junkie and then some other one.
That one.
You watched...
okay. But I've recently... So Netflix... not Netflix. Hulu came out with a show called Only Murders in the Building. It's got Steve Martin and Selena Gomez.
Okay.
It's actually pretty live. It's basically like... A murder happens in their building in New York, and then they start a podcast about it.
Can we talk about this? It's been getting on my nerves a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
It's weird. It doesn't ever sit right with me because I don't like a business model that needs like tragedy, death, and despair to profit and to like. So like I get it. You might be interested in stuff, but like
I take breaks from it.
The fact that it's like, oh my gosh, someone died.
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't sit right with me.
No,
you know what I mean?
And then like I did notice like when I was listening to that podcast, like I take breaks from it because at the end of it, like there's really no resolution and you just feel gross.
Yeah.
And then
now all Alicia does.
I've noticed that their ads are like for like alarm systems, like this and this and that. And then it's like, oh, you're scaring me. So then I buy alarm systems.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that people are going to be scared. Let's try to make them safe. Yeah. But the thing is, like Alicia, all the time now, we're sitting at a restaurant and she's like, I just want to survey the area because you never know. You might want to know who's around in case anything happens. If you walk out to your car and you have no idea who the suspects are, be like, yo, girl, now you're just living life in fear.
Yeah.
Like this shit isn't fun. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get like to be precautious and to be this. Yeah. But when your whole life you're just thinking like, and then this is what happens. You walk down a street just like that one case, and then you go and reach for your car, and then somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, chill. Yeah. I'm just trying to enjoy the city.
I have that same thought with the people who are like, I want to be free, like we're like no masks, no vaccines. I want to be free, blah, 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 blah. I want to live life in freedom, but the government's out to get me, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like...
Yeah.
Are you really free though?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's more of a libertarian argument of like the government is out to get you and they're never going to get their way. But the point is like autonomy, we do shit ourselves, whatever the fuck. Yeah. But I mean,
but it's like the paranoia is still there. Like if it's not something, it's another thing.
And then let's just say they were free. We're not ever really free, the lizard people.
Yeah, exactly. Then it goes into like 5G.
Yeah, so but now we're in Texas. You just keep the blicky on you and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm just gonna roll around blicked.
But no, I mean, I do feel that like, man, it sucks. Like,
I really wanted. I mean, like, this podcast are already eating up this Gabby Petito thing. It's also crazy too because the reason that people give a fuck is because it's like a white girl who you like. I think everyone kind of is like, oh shit, it's just like a white influencer, like, so it could happen to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because like, we had that case here where the tattoo artist like called his mom and said, I think someone's gonna kill me, and then gets found dead, and then like they just kind of cross it out, just let it go. Mm-hmm. Obviously a murderer was out there and no one's like doing any research, investigation, because they don't give a fuck because it's a brown dude. It's a brown kid with tattoos who was a tattoo artist. So no one's talking about it, so who gives a fuck? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, why is this specific case not like, you know what I mean, RIP and everything. Yeah. But like, just because it's salacious, interesting, and has white characters, just like a movie, it's interesting, and the whole country's going to talk about it.
That's the case. It's like, it's like a movie.
And so, yeah. I want to see what happens for the sake of justice. If Brian Laundrie did it, lock him up, because we don't need him killing other people out in the woods. Yeah. But thanks for listening. To be honest, it's such a wild note.
No, this is how the true crime podcasts end. They always end on a sad note, and they make you feel bad.
Full body chills. So
is that one of them?
The co-host in True Crime just says that randomly for like no reason.
Oh, she does. She kind of annoys me.
She annoys everybody.
Yeah.
She annoys everybody. And I recently saw pictures. She the ugly one. Oh my God. I'll show you pictures here in a bit.
Okay.
So, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Tell your tias that we out here. And we hope you enjoyed just this episode of us just talking about...
It's not really an official episode. It's really...
Yeah, no. Which we said it was going to be a short, but how much in right now?
I don't know. Already... We might cut a lot out.
But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Tell your tias, tell your Theos. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow, and please actually just send this episode to someone else who you think would be liking to watch this episode.
Yeah, season 3 coming soon.
Season 3 coming soon. Skits coming back. And they're about to be wilder than ever. I'm gonna just, I think we need to lean into wild sketches.
Yeah, bro, we're just gonna be in whiteface
the whole time.
So,
thanks for watching. Check us out next week. We out.